technology and humankind. The topic is science of computing and information processing. My name is J.O.A. Ayeni. We are all familiar with computers. We know the versatility of computer. We use computer to provide information. In this chapter, the student is expected to be acquainted with knowledge areas in computing, description of an algorithm, activities involved in information processing, and computing devices associated with information processing. Before we go into the subject matter, we are familiar with computers. We use computer to provide information that enables us to, or assists us to take decisions quickly. We use computer to control traffic. We use computer to monitor speed in aeroplanes. We use computer to perform calculations speedily and more accurately. We can also list the negative use of computer. Some people hack into other people's computers to steal funds from other people's accounts. It is not all bed of roses. So, what is science? Science comes from the Latin word scientia, which means knowledge. Science is an organized knowledge. It is a reliable and teachable knowledge. Mathematics, statistics, statistical methods, computational science are regarded as formal sciences. Mathematics is essential to the sciences for its role in scientific models. Statistical methods are used for summarizing and analyzing data. It allows scientists to assess the level of reliability and range of variation in experimental results. Computational science applies computing power to simulate real-world situations, enabling a better understanding of scientific problems than formal mathematics alone can achieve. So we know what science is. What is computing? Computing is a goal-oriented activity involving computers. It could be described as a discipline as well as a profession. It has many sub-disciplines. If I want to quote from ACM document on computing curricula 2005, the overview report, it says that in a general way, we can define computing to mean any goal-oriented activity requiring, benefiting from, or creating computers. It says that computing includes designing and building hardware and software systems for a wide range of purposes, for processing, structuring, and managing various kinds of information, doing scientific studies, using computers, making computer systems behave intelligently, creating and using computations, and so on and so forth. As I said earlier, it has many sub-disciplines. These are computer engineering, computer science, information systems, information technology, software engineering. These are sub-disciplines of computing. Let us look at them briefly, one by one. The computer engineering. This is concerned with design and construction of computers. We study hardware, software, communications, and interaction among them, among hardware, among software. Computer science is the bedrock of the foundation of computing, theoretical foundations of computing. That's the computer science. It is the algorithmic foundations of computing. It deals with cutting-edge developments in robotics, programming robots to act like human beings, computer vision, intelligent systems, bioinformatics, and other exciting areas. Information systems, on the other hand, specializes on integrating information technology solutions and business processes to meet information needs of businesses and other enterprises, enabling them to achieve their objectives in an effective and efficient way. Information technology prepares students to meet computer technology needs of business, of government, health care, schools, and other kinds of organizations. In academia, information technology refers to undergraduate degree programs that prepares students to meet the computer technology needs of various organizations. Software engineering is concerned with developing and maintaining efficient software systems that satisfy customers' requirements. And such software must be affordable and efficient. Having looked at the various sub-disciplines of computing, we did say that computing is both a profession and a discipline. So a discipline has knowledge areas, the areas where discipline, areas where the discipline focuses. So the knowledge areas in computing include the following: algorithms and complexity, architecture, organization, computational science, discrete structures, graphics and visual computing, information management, databases, and so on and so forth. We will not be able to go through all these these topics, as we just want you to know that computing consists of many knowledge areas. Some of them are that. But we will want to consider the basic one, the algorithm. The algorithm is basic to every area of computing. So, what is an algorithm? An algorithm is a procedure that terminates. In other words, an algorithm is a procedure expressed as steps or collection of steps or activities for achieving a goal, but there is need for it to terminate. However, the algorithm has some features. These features are finiteness, definitiveness, input, output, and effectiveness. What do we mean by these features? By finiteness, we mean that the algorithm must terminate. By definitiveness, we mean that each statement must be clear. It must have a clear goal. It must be unambiguous and must be definite. By input, we mean that the algorithm should have an input, some inputs, quantities given to it initially before the algorithm starts. Output, we mean that the algorithm has one or more outputs, that is, quantities which have a special relationship with the inputs. We manipulate the input to get the output. And by effectiveness, we mean that the operations involved must be sufficiently basic that they can be done exactly in a finite and reasonable length of time. Because this topic is very important. We want students to have an idea of what in real term is an algorithm. Okay? So, let us look at an example of an algorithm. Here, we consider the issue of adding the first 10 natural numbers. You want to add the first 10 natural numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, using an algorithm. You see, if we are able to write an algorithm to add the first 10 numbers, 10 natural numbers, the same algorithm can be used with slight modification to add the first 1 million numbers. So you can see the advantage. It's not just because you can do it for 10, you need to do a lot of manipulations again to do it for 1 million. No, the same algorithm. Okay? Now look at the algorithm on the board for adding the first 10 natural numbers. Step 1. In step 1, we say I is replaced by 1. Here, we choose I as a counter, a variable. Variable Y is a counter. That I is a counter. It's a variable that can take a value of. Actually, it's a counter here. Then, next step, we choose variable sum, which is an accumulator, and we set it to 0. Sum is replaced by 0. Then the next step, we add 1 to the current value of sum to replace the sum. Now, we replace sum by adding 1 to its previous value. In step 4, we replace I by adding 1 to the old value. The I on the right side is the old value. Then we ask a question. If the current value of I is greater than 10, we ask you to go, we ask the computer to go to step 7. Go to 7. That's, in other words, stop. In other words, if we have added 10, that's the last number we wanted to add, we should go and stop. Otherwise, go to 3. Repeat. Go and start again from step 3 and come down. That is our algorithm. Okay, before we go to information processing, I believe we understand what we mean by we understand that process now. You see, it's a very simple process, and if you want, you can try to simulate this algorithm, simulate it, and verify the 5 features of the algorithm we talked about. The finiteness, the input-output, the effectiveness, and the definiteness. And go through the algorithm and verify that the process finally terminates, and also that the values in the counter I is 11, and when the algorithm terminates, and the value in sum is 55 when the algorithm terminates. Okay? So we now jump to information processing. We want to see the relationship how computing relates to information processing. What is information processing? The aim of information processing is to convert information from one form to another. That's information processing. You convert information from one form to another. Now, what is information? There are many types of information. So, in fact, we don't have a unified definition for information processing. But information processing can be by cognition, that is mental, or processing, or by computing. Cognition means the mental processing of information, while computing processes information by using computers or the like. So that's the difference. In psychology and similar disciplines, they use cognition, but in computing we use computers to process information. Now, by information, we are going to look at information as data. As we know that the use of term information is not restricted exclusively to its communication via natural language. Information is also registered and communicated through acts and by facial expressions and gestures, or by such other physical responses as shivering. Moreover, every living entity is endowed with information in the form of a genetic code. This information phenomena permeate the physical and mental world, and their variety is such that it has defied so far all attempts at a unified definition of information. So what we call information is difficult to define. If I slap you now without saying any word to anybody, people around have some information. And for example, somebody will say, yes, I saw him slapping him. That's an information. Somebody will say that he didn't reply my attack on him, you know. So information is a very difficult thing to really define. Nonetheless, we will look at information as data, which we convert from one form to another. Therefore, we are going to look at information processing activities to consist of data acquisition, recording and verification of data, processing, storing and retrieving, display and dissemination. In our discussion of these activities, we will be relating to the position of computing, the role computing is playing in each of these activities. And as we said earlier, there is no, or as I implied earlier, there is no difference, or there is no loss of generality in assuming that data and information means the same thing. Because what is some people argue that data processed is information. That is, information is processed data. But what is information to somebody, or what is data to somebody, may be information to another person. In other words, if the data is a basic fact, okay, then the basic fact, when processed, becomes information. Now, that information which you use as a processed information can be a data for somebody who is going to use that to do some other activity. In other words, basic data converted will be information to somebody, while information to somebody may be data to be converted to another information. It is important to point out at this juncture that every process involved in the activities described above or below requires one underlying algorithm or another. In other words, when we will be discussing these activities, they involve one algorithm or another. We will not go into the specification of these algorithms, as they are beyond the scope of this lecture. Let us start with data acquisition. Data collection. First of all, data acquisition has to do with the gathering of the original data, which we call raw facts, from its source. When data is gathered for the first time, the process is referred to as origination or data creation, and is considered to be a stage in data collection. In other words, total collection involves origination and data capture. Data collection is the process involved in getting data from its point of origin to the computer in a form suitable for processing. Generally, data to be processed by a computer at its point of origin is in a form which is far from being machine sensible. In other words, for a computer to be able to process any data, the computer must be able to read it. That is, the data must be machine sensible. Thus, it has to be transcribed through error-prone process into a machine sensible form, and sometimes there is a need to convert it from one medium to another. This process may involve several people, may involve several machines or equipment. It can be expensive. However, due to advancement in technology, data collection process can be made automatic. Data could originate in form of source documents, which are electronically prepared, or in a machine-sensible form, which can be read directly into the computer by a suitable device, such as a digital camera, sensor, microphone. It can be said that data collection starts at the source of the raw data and ends when the valid data is within the computer in a form ready for processing. Okay? By data acquisition, we mean that the data is collected and made available to the computer for processing. Many problems encountered during data entry can be avoided if data can be obtained in a computer-sensible form at the point of origin. Where this is possible, we have a case of data capture. This does not mean that the data captured is immediately fed into the computer, for it may be stored in some intermediate form for later entry into the computer. So what we are saying is that with data capture, it doesn't mean that the computer is ready to process the data right away, or that it's ready in the machine sensible form or in the format that the computer may want to be able to process it. But at least it's in digital form. So the other processes may be required to make it ready in the format that the computer will be ready to process it. Now we want to look at the second activity after data collection, and that is recording and verifying. Recording can be in analog form or digital form. Analog form or digital form. Now, let me tell you ahead of time that there are many types of data. We have text. We will elaborate on that text. We have sound, we have image, we have graphics. These are data, but we will get to that. Now, we can record data in analog form or digital form. In most modern information processing systems, all collected data are represented electronically in digital form using digital technology. If the data was encoded in analog form, it is converted to digital form. A device called modulator, is available for this purpose. In other words, even though the computer processes in digital form, if the data is in analog form, it has a modem that can get it into digital form, and so the computer can process it speedily, like any other data in digital form. Data in digital form can be processed at very high speeds in the computer. The data is stored in binary devices. Binary devices are devices which exist only in one of two states, which are the basic components of the data technology. The two states of the binary devices are represented conveniently as 0 or 1, or as bits or binary digits. Coding systems are devised to represent numbers as characters. The widely used coding systems are the 7-bit American Standard Code for Information Interchange, ASCII, and the 8-bit Extended Binary Coded Decimal Interchange Code, EBCDIC. These are two popularly known coding forms, ASCII and EBCDIC. For purposes of recording and retrieving information on storage media, a storage medium is designed to consist of a number of bytes. We are looking at recording. A storage medium is designed to consist of a number of bytes which is taken as its capacity. A byte is a group of bits, of 8 bits, accessed together as a unit. A character is coded uniquely in a byte using any of the coding systems in use, ASCII or EBCDIC or any other one. Note that characters include all symbols that can be found on the keyboard in use with the computer. Some of these characters are not printable, as remarked above, especially the control characters such as backspace, return, beep. Character will be coded in 7 bits with a parity bit. Recording is done on storage media using electromagnetic and electro-optic technologies. The storage media are of two types: random access and serial or sequential access. In the random access storage medium, time to access information is independent of its location on the medium, as the device has a direct access to the information. On the other hand, in the serial or sequential access storage medium, access time to information sought depends on the location of the data and the position of the read-write header. Now let us look at the storage media we have. We have the magnetic tape. We have the magnetic disk. We have the optical disk. Let's look at them briefly. Magnetic tape storage medium is a serial access storage medium. That's a magnetic tape. Okay? The serial access storage medium, it is relatively cheap. It has high recording densities, especially video recording tape and digital audio tape. magnetic tape is a typical serial access storage medium and it is not expensive. However, these have extremely high recording densities up to 8 gigabytes, over 8 billion.
When I think upon your goodness and your faithfulness each day, I'm convinced it's not because I am worthy to receive the kind of love that you give, but I'm grateful for your mercy, and I'm grateful for your grace.
We are going to discuss data communication networks, internet, and World Wide Web. This is one of the topics in the course EST 107, Science, Technology, and Humankind. I am Professor J.O.A. Ayeni. In this chapter, the student is expected to learn what data communication involves, the channels of data transmission, types of computer networks, the internet and its usage, and the World Wide Web and its resources. First of all, we are going to look at the basic model of communication network. There are 4 components. We have the sender, which is the source or transmitter. We have the medium through which the communication takes place. We usually call it communication channel. We have the destination, the receiver of the communication, which is the destination. We also have protocol. The protocol are the rules under which transmission can take place. Applications of data communication. Data communication can apply is applied in the following areas. While we are uploading or downloading software, data communication is taking place. Also, where we have electronic mail, data communication is taking place. Where we are doing online talking or chatting, data communication is taking place. Where there is video conferencing, people doing conference in various places and they can see themselves and see, although they are not at the same place, but they are in different geographical areas, and so on and so forth. We are going to look at, first of all, the data communication channels. There are many channels of data communication. These include wire cabling, the telephone wires you know, coaxial cable, and improvement of wire cabling, microwave systems, satellite, fiber optics, and laser. These are channels of communication. We are going to discuss them one by one. First, the wire cabling. We start with telephone wires for data transmission. The telephone wires are the most common type of communication channels used in data communication systems because of its low cost and availability. The existing telephone lines cover such a great part of the world that it is both easier and more economical to use the existing lines rather than design and build alternative channels. However, it is not too good for long distance data communication. An improvement on telephone lines is a twisted pair cable. The effect of twisting the wires together reduces the incidence of both crosstalk and noise. At high frequencies, however, an increasing loss of signal power occurs due to radiation effects. So, a further improvement on twisted pairs is given by use of coaxial cable. That's the next one, the coaxial cable. A coaxial cable is basically a signal wire conductor surrounded by an outer cylindrical conductor. You can see the picture there. A coaxial cable can transmit at a much higher frequency than a wire pair, allowing more data to be transmitted in a given period. In fact, a single 0.5-inch diameter cable can replace 1,500 or more twisted pairs. Since it is shielded, the effect of the external interference is reduced, but it is expensive to install than using existing phone lines. As you can see in the diagram, we have this is the outer jacket of the cable. This one is a metallic shield. This is an insulator to insulate the actual wire, the center core, which is that one. The next channel we want to look at is the microwave systems. In the microwave systems, they operate without any physical connection between sender and receiver. You remember that there is a channel, a medium between sender and receiver. In the previous two channels we have discussed, there is a physical connection between the sender and the receiver. But in case of the microsystem communication channel, there is no physical connection between the sender and the receiver. Instead, high frequency radio signals